Tonight we take you live to the third and final stop of our NewsNation tour of the southern border. We've spent the past 3 days traveling through border towns, asking Americans who live there what exactly they expect from a second Donald Trump presidency. We've also heard from officials who say they need more resources to stem the flow of illegal migrants crossing the border. And we've seen the real-life effects of cartels smuggling drugs and humans into the U.S. Tonight, NewsNation's Allie Bradley's in the Del Rio sector of Texas. On their way there, her team ran into smugglers trying to cross with a group of migrants last night. Border correspondent Allie Bradley joins us live from Shelby Park in Eagle Pass, Texas. Allie, tell us what happened.
Yeah, hey, Elizabeth. So, we've been doing this kind of 3 busy sectors in 3 days following the Trump-Vance victory. And what we experienced last night was quite possibly the scariest part of the leg of the trip. And quite frankly, some of the most unsettling experiences I've had along the southern border. So we want to show you some pieces of video and kind of walk you through what we experienced here in the El Paso sector, which is where we ended last night. This is a Sunland Park area. This is actually technically New Mexico, which is part of the El Paso sector. So we wanted to see how the cartel is operating out there. Have things changed? What are they doing right now? Well, when we were up there, we actually hiked up a bluff along the border with Mexico there, and human smuggling is rampant. The wall just ends. It's pretty much a free-for-all, wide open. So we're walking back down, and we see these 3 men in all black clothing with backpacks on. We didn't know if they were going to cross into the U.S., but they absolutely went and walked them. We were out pretty quietly. We ended up meeting them at a bend in the road, literally coming face to face with them, quite literally stopping them in their tracks. So they chose to run instead of engage with us, which, we were lucky for that, but we did alert Border Patrol that that was happening, and we followed them down the hill as they continued to evade law enforcement. But just as soon as that happened, I turned around, and this man pops up on the Mexico side, right on the boundary line, and he's holding an AR-style rifle. And he kind of shows it off to me, kind of, look what I have this rifle here, don't mess with us, waves us off as we're recording, and he walked back into Mexico. Now, law enforcement tell me he was likely helping those individuals that we saw running off into the bushes, evading from law enforcement. So we also just got confirmation here from the Texas National Guard that shots were fired at them from the Mexico side last night in that area that we were at just after we left. And then it happened again this morning. So that violence escalating a little bit as well on that side. And we've talked to people along the southern border. We've been doing this tour. We wanted to find out how they feel. And we've heard a lot of people talk about kind of supporting Donald Trump's policies when it comes to border security and wanting to see that change. But not everybody is happy with this change and what's going to be happening down here. We talked with with some of these policies, like the Remain in Mexico policy, things like that, it could actually lead to increased cartel.
When we see shutdowns at the border for various policies like Title 42 or Remain in Mexico, that does lead to increased apprehensions between the ports of entry and more people getting sent back to Mexico, and it does increase the cartel violence. There's very regular kidnapping and awful violence against women and children that occurs with the migrants. And so I think we should expect more rejections at the border or in between ports of entry, and therefore more cartel violence along the borders.
Okay, so obviously we took this 3-day tour to really figure out what is happening on the ground. We have been your eyes and ears on the ground now for 3.5 years at NewsNation. So the reality here is, though, that we wanted to stop here in Eagle Pass in the Del Rio sector in Shelby Park. Very fitting to end our tour because this has been kind of the epicenter for a lot of issues, back and forth legal battles on a state level and, of course, that federal side as well, Elizabeth. So we'll see what happens under President Trump because he has absolutely supported what Governor Abbott is doing down here. Elizabeth?
Yeah, escalating violence, which, boy, am I glad you're okay. You got to sort of witness the precursor to firsthand. Allie Bradley reporting live from the border in Del Rio, Texas. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.